Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another live edition of Sakali's Corner Unfiltered / Mafia Roundtable, or vice versa. Folks, John, just to answer your question, I think it was John who asked, a little bit confused, or somebody asked, they were a little bit confused. I'm trying to find it, but let's see. Oh, it was Phil D. Sakali's Corner, it's going to be changing Mafia Roundtable to Sakali's Corner Unfiltered, but I'm keeping both names up until I officially change it over. This way, people will recognize the two as one, if that makes sense. So I want to thank everybody for coming on, and I'm going to start off with German. Just got straightened out tonight. So this is German. German's thank you for the contribution. German says to everybody, sit back, relax, settle in for an unbelievable show. And what better way than with the best tasting vodka on the market, EG, that's right, EG vodka, now available in 3 fantastic flavors and USDA certified and organic. So go to egvodka.com, order it today, 100% gluten-free, organic. Folks, you'll love it. It's great. I mean, it is extremely smooth, the vodka, very smooth. Folks, tonight we're going to have a part 2. I'm going to do a double header. Actually, a triple header. We have, after this show at 6 p.m., I'm going to test the StreamYard. Where I could do split screen, bringing people on. It's my first time, so please don't kill the messenger here. We're going to see how it works. I sent the link already to Joe Barone, and we'll see how that goes. And we're going to talk about this show and what tonight's show, what we're talking about, the prosecutor, Vinny Basciano, Joe Massino, and what actually happened, what went down. And people, you have to thank Mr. Frost for this one, because he did a show about it, and I'm just going to elaborate because it had to involve myself, and I was in the mix of things, so I could give more insight into what actually transpired. And basically, as Trump would say, how the government weaponized themselves against Vinny Basciano, myself, and everybody else who got rounded up in that indictment. So before I go into that, and then we'll touch base on a whole bunch of other things too, and then that'll be about it. But gotta give it to Mr. Frost. We will be doing something together coming on soon, which I know he has a lot of questions he wants to ask me, and I him. We're gonna go at it back and forth. So with that. Tonight, there will be a part 2. Make sure my volume's working. There will be a part 2 at 6 o'clock with Joe Barone. So people will probably cut off maybe about 5:45. Go get your popcorn. And then we're going to go over the discussion today. And we're going to hear from Joe's perspective as well, because Joe is working with the government. He was cooperating with the government for 20 plus years. So we'll check out his feelings, how he felt about it. And Vinny does deserve a new trial. Actually, the cases should be thrown out, really, at this point. It's a disgrace what they did, how they did it. But, at the end of the day, I could see why they did it. Because it was to protect their very own Greg Andres. So with that, I will go into what I have to say about it, how the prosecutors used the government to weaponize against Vinny Basciano, myself, Anthony Aiello, Anthony Donato. And that was the 4 people that did get locked up on that case originally before I cooperated. So, people, you have Joe Massino. Before his trial, he's fighting his case. Didn't cooperate, didn't speak to the government. last Don, he's dubbed. Uh, Vinny, myself, we're all out there on the streets running the family for him. Joe sends word. It's a cryptic message. And Vinny comes to me immediately. Vinny tells me, Bo, I think Joe wants us to kill the prosecutor. What prosecutor? He says, Greg, meaning Greg Andres. I'm like, okay. And he said, well, he told us he sent a message to me. He says, this effing guy's being disrespectful to me. Can't take him anymore. Then these messages came, I guess, from two different sources. So somebody said, this Greg is getting disrespectful. Somebody sent another message. Hey, that guy who's being disrespectful, he eats at a certain restaurant every Thursday night in Manhattan. So right away, with the messages being sent, it's basically Greg Andres being disrespectful for Joe. Joe's not going to tolerate it any longer. He eats at a certain restaurant every Thursday night. So with that, it's an indication. Why are you giving him a location of where a guy eats every Thursday night with the time and everything? So you're basically sending a message. You can't take him no more. You're not going to tolerate it for us to clip him. So clip him, people, for those of you just tuning in, that means killing somebody. So with that, Vinny sends word back in. And in the meantime, Vinny's like, Dom, okay, here's what we're going to do. You and I will have other people there to get our back, our tight-knit crew that we have. You and I will go in, and we'll go in from two different sides. We'll step to them, and we're going to blast them, leave them there. Just leave them in the restaurant, and then just walk out. Okay, not a problem. So he said, I just sent word into Joe to confirm it. I'm not sure how Vinny sent it. I know he sent it with, I'm pretty sure, Tommy Lee, who was an attorney. Knowing Vinny, probably said, hey, that thing, you want me to take care of it. You want me to handle it. And with that, Joe winds up sending a different message out at that time. Or maybe just before Joe sent the message out about that, he bumps me up to an official captain, Joe Massino. Okay. I'm the official captain now. It was around the time I think Vinny made Michael Mancuso the acting underboss. Joe sends word out, bump Dominic up, bumps me up. Now, Joe never sends word back out. Never says another thing. So at the time, nobody's even thinking of it. Joe goes to trial. I asked Vinny what's going on. He says, Bo, he just ignored it. So maybe he changed his mind, change of heart. But, be prepared. We might have to put it in this work. And if so, it's going to be a massive, massive heat. We're going to have a lot of massive hit. We're going to have a lot of heat on us. So I said, I know. We'll do what we have to do. And that's it. So Joe winds up blowing trial, folks. Unbeknownst to everybody on the street, that evening after he blew trial, goes in the back office of the court to Judge Garifas's chambers. I guess Greg Andres is there. Andres tells him, I don't need you. Who you can't do? Who you going to tell on? We already got your brother-in-law. We have everybody in your administration. They gave up everything on you. What else can you give up? He says, well, I could save a prosecutor's life because there's a hit on a prosecutor. They don't believe Joe at first, but they have to take caution with that because it's themselves. It's not a street thug Joe's talking about. It's not, it's one of their own. It's them. So with that, they have Joe Massino take 2 lie detector tests, asking him, So I guess at this point, Joe told Greg Andres, Vinny Basciano's looking to kill you. Joe takes 2 lie detector tests, fails them both. Fails them. They didn't pass them. So, folks, if you don't believe the guy, which they didn't because they made him take a lie detector test, when I told them about Vinny, when I went in to cooperate and said we killed Frank Santoro, they didn't make me take a lie detector test. They believed me. So why would they make him take a lie detector test? Why? They didn't believe Joe, and Joe failed. So right there, they should have told him, get out of here. You're full of shit. They didn't. What they did, because they had to, take precautions, because again, what if he was nervous? Who knows what Joe told them when they informed Joe that he failed, or told the lawyer he failed the test. Might say, I'm nervous with this, or whatever excuse, but it's true. You want to risk your life? He's going to kill you. And with that, they believed him. I don't think they believed him, but they had no choice, because again, here's the prosecutor, Greg Andres. Let me take caution, because God forbid if Joe's not lying, it's my life on the line here. So they accept Joe as a cooperator. And when they accept him, Joe, if you got caught lying, if you do this, you do that, you're going to get life. Doesn't matter at this point, though, folks. Joe already is convicted of 7 homicides. He's getting life anyway. No doubt about it. Joe had nothing to lose. They can't threaten him. He's going to get life. Cooperating. He's like, what the heck? I got life anyway. So he has nothing to lose. So now with that, what the government does at this point, when Joe cooperated and they allowed him to cooperate and they accepted him to cooperate, they arrest Vinny. I think Vinny and Anthony Donato. But they arrest Vinny, and on the indictment, Joe Massino's on the indictment. Folks, that's illegal. Can't have a guy working for law enforcement on an indictment. He's cooperating already. He already gave information. That's having a spy in the camp. You have a spy in your camp. They're going to co-defendant meetings. Joe was already cooperating. It's one thing, as Eric Frost said, if we all got arrested, as we did, none of us are cooperating. We're all on the indictment. But if I'm cooperating, it's going to be listed Vinny Basciano, Anthony Donato, and CI. CI, confidential informant. So it should have been Vinny Basciano, Anthony Donato, CI. Here they put Joe Massino on, and he's already cooperating. That's illegal. That's abuse of power. Right there, the indictments, everything should be thrown out. It should be thrown out. That is the most dirtiest thing a prosecutor, the government could do. You tell me. That's like Vinny walking in with an FBI agent. FBI agent's on his indictment. You think Vinny's going to have a conversation with him? They're going to have co-defendant meetings? Joe Massino was privy to co-defendant meetings with Vinny. Strategy, talking. How they're going to fight the case. You don't think Joe Massino told Greg what Vinny's talking about? So, and to make it worse, Joe played Vinny like a trumpet. Like a trumpet. Knew how to bait Vinny. Knew he had Vinny, and you heard it on the tapes. Some of the tapes, they're out there. And Vinny's talking, no, Bo. Where Joe says, Vinny, you just can't go do it. It's not your family. You get killed for that. I know, Bo. I know. So Vinny's backpedaling. Remember, he's talking to our boss at the time. He didn't know he's a rat. Would never expect it, especially due to the fact they get indicted together. While Joe's a rat, they're indicted together. He's on the indictment. That's illegal. And then Joe brings up, Bo, you can't do that in the bullpen. And I know what Vinny did in the bullpen. So he told me. Vinny asked him, he said, Joe, did you really want me to clip the prosecutor? I would have did it. And Joe's like, Bo, you can't do that. Where'd you get that from? Bo, come on. You can't kill a prosecutor. Are you out of your mind? And that's the way Joe played it to him. So now when they're on tape, Joe's making it like Vinny the other day in the bullpen. You said about the prosecutor, you can't be doing things like that, Vinny. I know, Bo. Forget about it. Forget. Set him up like a damn pinata. Pinata. It is disgusting. And then what laid credence to everything, Randy gets killed. It's in the papers. Now Joe Massino has more. Bo, what happened here? Who did this? Vinny's Dominic. Now the government, that's why they locked me up under the Sam's Act. Joe got Vinny on tape talking about making it look like Vinny was the one with killing the prosecutor. Who's going to do it? Dominic and Ace. While they're out there, they're still going to, contract is on. They're killing Greg. When they locked me up, they came in like damn gangbusters. Concussion grenades, everything. I mean, I have my hands up. I opened up the door for them. So I saw them. I'm up early in the morning. I see all the cops by the house. I said, hey, I'm getting arrested. I put my clothes on, brushed my teeth. I walked downstairs. As I'm opening up the door, they're getting ready to hit the door. So the door opens, shut, and I open it again. I have my hands up. And I get on the floor. Boom, they throw a concussion grenade. They already have me there. They came in like gangbusters. They put me under the Sam's Act 4 months. No visits, no phone call, no communication. They were scared shitless. Shitless that I was kid. That the plot was already in motion to kill Greg. All because of Joe Massino's lies, his treachery. And lo and behold, Joe played everything aligned with him. He knew how to play Vinny. And that was a setup from the beginning. So, folks, what the government is supposed to do, Joe gives the information. If they believe it, then from there, Vinny gets indicted, and that's it. Vinny and Joe are never supposed to see each other, period, hands down. Hands down. It's not like they're both holding it straight. Then they get indicted. Like initially, Sal, Joe, everybody got arrested. And all of a sudden, Sal was taken out. Sammy and John, John Gotti, Sammy the Bull. They all got locked up together. Then Sammy flipped. They took him out. He didn't flip. Sammy didn't flip, and they kept him there to go to co-defendant meetings and get more information. No. Well, that's what they did with Joe Massino. That's illegal. And they didn't have enough information to arrest Vinny. All they had was Joe Massino saying, Vinny told me he killed Frank Santoro. That was it. That was it. That's what Vinny got arrested for, the Frank Santoro murder. He had no particulars, nothing else. Nothing else. So, folks, with that, Vinny definitely deserves. Listen, everything should be overturned with him. I don't see how. I could see why the government did what they did, because it was themselves, one of their own could have been killed. But Joe Massino got rewarded. He got freed from jail. And the government knew when I cooperated and I walked in and they asked me, first questions were, Greg Andres, were you going to kill Greg Andres? I says, we were waiting on Joe's order. They were all shocked. Joe's order? What are you talking about? Joe Massino is the one that set it up. We were waiting for him to give the final order to do it. What? What do you mean? I saw the look of disgust on their face when I said that. They knew it, but they were got. They couldn't backtrack at this point. They would have had they would have had not only mud on their face, they would have had the whole pigsty on top of them. That's how bad they will look. They had to back Joe now at this point. But the look on their face, pissed beyond pissed. When I told them how it went down, I said, Vinny never wanted to kill Greg. So then Greg wound up asking me, who was going to do it? Were you going to do it? Yes. Myself and Vinny. Vinny and myself were going to do it. We were just waiting on Joe to give the final order. Joe. I says, yeah, Joe's the one who sent word. Where you eat every Thursday night. You were getting under his skin. You were doing this. You were doing that. Vinny sent word back. Never received a response. But Joe's the one. Vinny had. Why would Vinny look to kill you? For what reason? For what reason? You never did nothing to him. You're doing your job. Now, if you're ordered to, you have no choice. That's what I told him. If you're ordered to, you have no choice. And they just, with Joe failing the 2-lie detector test and me telling them what happened, Joe never knew that I would know, that Vinny would tell me. And boy, I'm sure they ripped Joe Massino a new asshole when they saw him. But the government could. What could they do at that point, folks? They can't rip up his agreement. Even if they ripped up his agreement, he still had life. He was still convicted of 7 murders, 8 murders, 9 murders. He was convicted. So he had nothing to lose. He had nothing to lose. And that's the sad part of it. And you know what? What's even worse, even the judge had to know this, had to know it from testimony, and yet they allow it. I'm sure Vinny brought it up in his motions. Come on. Which right's right. Come on. That's, if this is not weaponizing the government, this is supposed to be America, land of the free. Scales of justice even. If you got me, you got me. Cool. But the way they did it was dirty. It was really dirty and disgusting. Joe Massino played everybody. Everybody. Everybody thought Sammy was a good chess player. Joe Massino played everybody. Everybody, including Vinny Basciano. So with that, it's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad. Joe used every excuse. Vinny was the reason why he cooperated. Vinny didn't send the money. They were throwing his wife in the street. The guy's worth $40-50 million. His fine was only, I think, tops 12-15 million. They still fined him 8 to 12 million. He gave it in gold bars, Cougarans, and gave up some properties. The wife still has maybe 30 million, 20, 30, 40 million. Who knows what she has? But Joe had a long run, very lucrative, a lot of money. So it wasn't that. The guy just didn't want to die in jail. And that's what it comes down to. And at the end of the day, he played the government where they weaponized themselves, and they actually broke the law. Can't have a cooperator on an indictment. Sorry, not in co-defendant meetings. Not in co-defendant meetings. That's illegal. That's illegal. But they do what they want. And you know what's even more disgusting? They have all the cards in their favor to begin with. All the cards in their favor, all the power. Judges, 90% of the time, rule with the prosecutors. It's all a game. It's a sham, really. It's disgusting. At least if you get me, you get me. That's it. But they played Vinny. Joe played everybody. So Vinny's lawyers, if you're watching, I hope he does get the cases overturned. He should. And it really is. It's disgusting what happened. But remember, folks, we're coming on live at 6 p.m. again with Joe Barone. We're going to do the split screen. And then tonight, I'll be on. Jeff called me to do at 9 o'clock. He asked me to come on to his show. We didn't even talk about anything. He's like, Dom, I got to get into your head. Why you doing what you're doing? So who knows what he's going to say. I like to be surprised with questions. I don't have to be coached like some other people when they get interviews. They're told you can't ask this, this, or this. So we'll see what he has to say. But with that, folks, I'm going to answer some questions, and then we'll sign off, let's see, maybe in about 20 minutes, take a break, and then come back live on this channel, 6 p.m. with Joe Barone. And Joe's supposedly watching, so he could give it from his perspective too, because he was working with the government, so he knows. So Cynthia, Francisco, German, much love to my gatekeepers. Thank you. Thank you. Richie T. It's going good. It's going good. Thank you. Sam the Man. Hey, everyone. Nice to see you on. Steven. Hello, Dom. We have Island in the house as always. Thank you. A, B, C, D. Vinny has a good chance with his case since Joe is working with the feds, so can't be a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. That's a spy in the enemy camp. Can't do it. Joe was already. That's like having law enforcement. They might as well had one of the federal agents as Vinny's co-defendant in a co-defendant meeting. Can't do it. It's illegal. It's entrapment. That's what they did. David Price, what's up, Dom? Shout out from Canada, brother. We have Canada in the house. Good to see you. Brandy, hello. James, oh, I have no idea what the hell you just said. Brandy, how have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you're talking to me. You talking to me? Okay, that's good. Christopher, Francisco, were you on Sammy's Bull live yesterday? Oh, folks, what happened to Bella? I know Bella emailed me. Bella, where are you? I know you're going on other people's things. You don't love me. Bella doesn't love me anymore. So, Bill, Vinny did terrible things. Why pretend otherwise? No, Vinny did do terrible things, but get him. Get him. The way they got him is illegal. So, I'm just telling it the way it is. And you know, folks, like I said, I always keep it straight, keep it real. We killed people together. And if Vinny gets out, I'm going to be, woo-wee. There's going to be a lot of caution taken if he gets out. Because when he'll strike, will probably be years down the road. But I know Vinny will definitely look to have me killed, without a doubt. But he'll wait. He'll wait. And he'll be the one to do it, without a doubt. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Brandy, I caught up on Dom's last two lives. Thank you, Brandy. People in the chat make me laugh. Yeah, listen, I'm looking at some of the shit, and it's ridiculous, but so be it. Who is the toughest guy with his hands? Roger asks, who's the toughest guy with his hand? I would have to say Big Ernie with the Genovese. David, ever thought hitting a prosecutor is against Cosa Nostra and the commission rules? Absolutely it is. But who's going to stop it if a boss orders it? So is not getting involved in the stock market. So is ratting. They're all against Cosa Nostra rules. So is going with another man's wife, made man's wife. So Caesar, hey Dom, what do you think about Little Robert Lino will do that he's home? Do you think he stays out of the life or no? If some of these guys are smart, they will stay away from the life. They'll do their thing, and that's it. Just stay distant. That's the smartest thing. I hope Bruno's doing that. I know Anthony Donato is staying far away from everybody. Doesn't want to be bothered with anybody, and he's working. He's working. That's sad. You know, and Anthony was really one of the good guys. It broke my heart when I had to cooperate, especially with him. He had a sweet plea deal, and they took that, and he had to take more time. But Anthony had a wonderful family, wife, and just everything went to shit. Usually, wives last anywhere from 4 to 5 years, and they bounce. That's just the way it is. It happened to me twice, so it's just part of it. It's part of it. Joe, Dom, do you think Trump will make a difference? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think so. Joe again, Dom, I'm in New York City, and the city is 90% liberals. Things will change. Things will definitely change. Nick S. from his beauty salon, I think. Okay, that's for Brandy. Let's see what else we have. We have Jeff. I respect the chat. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. I'm good gatekeepers. Loyal crew. Michael, did you see Eric Forst's video on this and that made you want to make this video? I saw his title. I listened to some of it. Eric went into, I caught the part where he looked up, guess conspiracy or cooperating. So I didn't watch too much of it because who knows the story better than me? It had to do with me. So I figured, you know what? Let me come out with it. You guys heard his version. You hear my version the way it is. What actually happened, how it happened. And I'm sure Eric and I agree that, yes, can't do that. Cannot put a government informant on an indictment and then have I think, 3 or 4 co-defendant meetings together. That's co-defendant meetings are when you're discussing trial strategy and what's going on. And that was just, can't do it. Can't do it. And tonight you'll hear what Joe Barone has to say about it. Live on this channel. Joe Massino was wealthy. Absolutely. Yes, he was. Samuel, Dom, hope the back is on the mend. Yes, the back is feeling somewhat better. I'm not I'm not in as much pain. The cold's starting to go away a little bit, coughing a little bit here and there. Today was my first day out a little bit. And there was a shitty, cold, rainy day. So, Easy Rider, would you consider testifying on Vinny's behalf if it came down to that? If I testify, I'm going to tell the truth. So if they ask me, do we ever kill anybody? I'm going to say yes. But if they ask me, I think they're limited, but especially with that question, but, I'm sure they'll have experts on with that. But I'm just going to tell the truth with everything, as I always did. I'm not going to lie. So, we killed somebody together, and then the second person he ordered. The order was from Vinny and then Michael. And then, I was following through with it. Susan, hey, Dom, glad you're feeling better. Busy day for you. Yes, it was. Let's see what else we have. Mosey, good to see you're on. Good evening. At Joe Barone, great to see you. Hope all is great. Yes, yes, it is always. Mikey Beef, yo, Dom, what's the on the street? What's the on the street? I have no idea what you're talking about. Emoji boy, Dom, for my birthday, I want to watch a new show with yourself and Mr. Barone, please. My birthday is the 27th, this coming Monday. Emoji, happy birthday, my brother. Happy birthday, dear. Mine's right around the corner, too. Tell us about the Chicago outfit. In due time, I don't know much, just when Nick Calabrese told me. So, that'll be probably a one show, quick hitter edition. We have Primo, some investments for you to look at. Long, platinum, short gold spread, Intel, and Kraft Heinz Corp. Will do. I'll check them out. Today, I noticed, what was it? Costco took off like a bat out of hell, and then it retracted, then bounced back a little bit. But I went with Tesla when it was down. I bought, sold. I shorted Eli Lilly. And what else? Meta, Facebook. I bought that. Just still holding on to that. But in and out today, except for Meta. Dom, did you ever hang out at Act 3? Act 3, no. I don't think I did. Act 3, it sounds familiar too. I'll ask Joe, see if he knows. Would you have a sit down with Rita Gigante, daughter of Chin? Listen, I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything as long as it's a civil. It could get heated, but I'm open to anything. Mosey boy, I'll be listening to the show, helping my boss with chick fajitas. Okay, Ryan Brown, Dom, what's your thoughts on Scott Bernstein's piggybacking off of Jerry Capisci about Big Lou Valerio being the new consigliere of the Gambino crime family? I really don't know. I haven't heard it, so I haven't heard what Scott said. I, for one, don't care for Scott because Scott thinks he knows more than everybody. Scott's one of the ones who put the label on Joey Molino, and Joey Molino was shelved because Scott knows more than everybody. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Mikey Beef, sorry about that. Said, what's up, Dom? What's the word on the street? All right. Word is all good. All good. Joey Molino shelf. That's the word on the street. That's the word on the street. So, folks, who's this Billy Luna? Billy Luna. I saw he just did a video, and I caught some of it where he slowed me down speaking. What's the word with him? Yo, Dom, you know Zeph Mustafa. No, I don't know him. I've heard of him. I heard a lot of good things about him. And I heard he's doing his own thing, staying out of trouble, and just living his life free and enjoying it. And that's the way you should. Stay away from all the rackets, stay away from everything, and enjoy it. The guy demanded his time. So that's what he should do. I heard he's a really good guy. Jim said Billy Loon is a chump. Yeah, who is he? Where's he from? Like, I have no clue. I know he blows. Like, he gives a good blowjob to Joey Molino, that's for sure. From what I say, oh my God. It is ridiculous. James, St. Teresa's in the Bronx, 4th grade. Love your show. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. 4th grade. So you teach 4th grade, or were we in the 4th grade together? Scott's also predicting Teddy Persico, future boss of the Colombo crime family. I don't know, but why is Scott putting heat on people? Like, damn. Let the guy breathe a little bit. Who knows? I guess he has nothing else to talk about. Snow. How's Mikey? You mean Mikey Washwoman Knows? Mancuso. Get a pass for snitching on to dudes' wives. I don't know. I don't know. Just the way Joey Molino's getting a pass for coming on social media. Same way. Mob's not what it once was. That's how. King J. Hey, Dom. Are you ever tempted to open a Shylock business or think about coke trafficking? No, Shylock was never my stick. I never lent money. I was too good-hearted. I just felt embarrassed asking to get my own money back. That wasn't me. Coke, nah, I wouldn't last a hot minute out there dealing. I don't know anybody, so, and you don't know who to sell to, who not. So nah, then there's too much money legitimate, so I would never. Snake, thank you for the contribution. Street tax, kick up to the boss. Thanks, Snake. Listen, folks, we're coming live at 6 o'clock with Joe Barone. We're going to do split screen. I'm going to try it for the first time. Hopefully it'll work, so have patience, and we'll see. We'll have some fun. Supposedly he was watching this, and he's going to interject on the government weaponizing themselves and actually taking out mobsters doing it. How dirty it is. How disgusting, really. Hey, Dom, did you ever know Vinny Torino? No, I didn't. Folks, we're going to start wrapping it up because we're coming back live at 6. Live at 6 with Joe Barone. We're going to hit part 2 of this topic and go into it. Everybody have a good evening for the next half hour, 20 minutes. And we'll see everybody live at 6. We're coming live at 6. Camilla, I'll see you at 6. What's the average IQ of people in the chat? I don't know. We have a pretty good, we have some good guys here now. Sam the Man, it's good and easy to make legitimate money. Yes, it is all the time. We have Brandy F. Francisco. Reach it. Now everybody's talking. Moji Boy, oh shit. I didn't know you and Mr. Barone were going live tonight. Yes, folks. We're going live 6 p.m. again. So in the next 20 minutes, we'll be back on. I agree. Even Jeff Nadeau said, don't put labels on guys, especially when they, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But Scott doesn't give a shit about anybody. He thinks he knows everything. Scott needs a good cracking. People, have a wonderful evening. I'll see everybody in about 25 minutes on this channel. See everybody in 20. Peace out.